Happy Tuesday. I don't know why this looks blurry for some reason. Hope everybody's ready to get this day started. Let me see if I can. There we go. Maybe that's better. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. Good morning, and how do you do? I'd like to introduce myself to you. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's ready to get this wonderful Tuesday started. It's going to be a great, great day. I promise you. It's going to be a great day. I hope everybody had a great day yesterday. Great morning, Miss Valerie. Hope everybody had a great day yesterday. And it was cold yesterday. Oh, no Taco Tuesday. Okay, all right. I can deal with that. Change the world instead. I'm all for that, ma'am. Yes to the ma'am. I'm all for that. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show so far. Don't forget, if your friends and family do not have Facebook, please make sure you share with them my YouTube channel. And I'm actually going to post that here so they can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows that they want to. And they don't have to worry about catching the replay or missing something. They can watch all of them here. Don't forget the I Am My Sister's Keeper t-shirts are still on sale. And if you go over to livepastcrazy.com, in the store section is the t-shirts. As well as, guys, I am doing a 5-book e-series, and it's called Foundations Matter, and it is $19.99, and this is, and it's bit.ly/Foundations Matter with the capital F, and you can get all 5 ebooks. They will be there April the 10th, so this is a pre-order. They will be there April the 10th, so you can check those out. All right, so I forgot what I was going to do. I was looking at the t-shirts and I got sidetracked. That's how it worked. Because it's early in the morning and it's quiet. I'm not used to it being quiet. Oh, and these are the second pair of the earrings that the lady made for me. Isn't it cute? These are the second pair. And so what I did is I told her to go look at my website and then make what she felt. And these are the second pair. And this bracelet is hand painted with my business colors. So, and it's not cheap. Like, this is heavy. So, I love it. I'm glad I forgot you got a shirt, Miss Margaret. Love it. Good morning, and how do you do? All right, so welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. We are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamitra Jojo Water, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I got something in my eye. Y'all, let me tell you something. If you're a glass wearer, and I wear glasses, I have been doing eye exercises, because when you wear glasses, the only thing that's going to happen is your vision is going to get worse. And the glasses are not helping. So I've been doing eye exercises. Thank you, Miss Valley. When I tell you, it is harder for me to see out of these now than anything. My vision has improved. And I simply went to YouTube and Googled eye exercises. And I used to have to wear these, like, if I'm in front of the computer all day, these are my reading glasses. I have to have them on. Like, everything would it would make my eyes hurt. Those eye exercises. Let me tell you, I've been doing them for about a month now. Eyes don't hurt in front of the computer. And I'm in front of the computer all day. They don't hurt anymore. They don't get blurry. There's no burning. So check out those eye exercises. All right, so the fearless thought for the day is, and I said part of this yesterday and I wrote it down and it just hit me. I want you to make room for the answer that you are seeking. And I'm sorry it's taking me 4 whole minutes to get to the topic of the day. I usually hate when people take forever to get to their thought. I like for you to start the show and do all the extra stuff later. So the fearless thought for the day is make room for your answer. I mentioned it yesterday, and this is how my brain works. I scribbled it down there yesterday. That's my good old handwriting. Make room for your answer. Because, and I guess that goes hand in hand with making room for your blessings and your miracles, or whatever you want, your abundance, your peace. Make room for your energy space, because if it's jumbled up right now, there's nowhere for you to receive it. There's nowhere for it to go. And so it may be outside waiting for you to clear up your problem so that it can come in. And a lot of times that's the very thing. That's the problem. So what do we need to do to free up that space? So in order to make room for the answer, first of all, yesterday we talked a lot about accepting encouragement and the things that we needed to do, and coming down to knowing ourselves. But with that, we also have to be capable of understanding that we can achieve the things that we set. And it is so hard to say you got to do one thing above the other when they all kind of work together. In the beginning, for me to start living past crazy, I had to stop and just be still. Like I couldn't do anything else. There was nothing else I could do. I literally had to stop and just be still. But then everything else, as you start on this journey, they kind of cohabitate together. They are intermingled. One can't exist without the other. And so on this journey, you got to be willing to accept the encouragement, but you have to know, like, even if you don't know, but you got to feel it in your belly. And that's where your purpose partners come in, where they help you to understand that you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. You have to know that you can. You have to have the faith of y'all know how small a mustard seed is. So that's really tiny. You've got to have faith that you can achieve it, or that you can live past it. So in that, you got to make room for the answer. So you got to believe that you got to achieve it. So you've got to stretch your mind. So here's a mind exercise, and I do this a lot of the times. I do this all the time at events. So we're going to stretch our mind. And this is a great, and you probably saw somebody do this before, and that's fine, because I've seen other people do it. So I want you, if you're driving, you cannot do this exercise. If you're at home and you're getting ready, I want you to try this. I want you to stand up. I'm just sharing to the Fearless Morning Show page. I'll make sure you guys go check out the Fearless Morning Show as well. And Be Fearless Incorporated. We both have a page, so make sure you check it out. So I want you to stand up, and then when you stand up, I want you to bend over and touch your toes. I don't want you to stretch. I don't want you to do anything. I want you to simply just bend over and touch your toes. Now, don't try to push it. Go just as far as you can go. Now that you've gone that far, stand back up. And now I want you to take a deep breath and close your eyes and think about how far you went when you just touched your toes or your ankles or perhaps your kneecaps. How far did you go? Take another deep breath with your eyes closed. Don't hyperventilate. Think about how much further you could go. So if you touch your knees, think about touching your shins. If you touch the shins, think about touching your ankles. If you touch the ankles, think about touching your toes or your floor. So take another deep breath and then think even more how much further you could go. Like if you were a kid, you could bend yourself over more, right? So now you want to open your eyes. Take another deep breath and bend over again and touch your toes again. And the amazing part is right here, you're probably realizing is that you stretched further, way further than you did before. And it is all in stretching your mind. The only thing that changed was your mindset to how you could achieve it. Before, when I first said touch your toes, you probably was like, yeah, JoJo, I'm not fixing to touch my toes at all. But once you had just the inkling of a possibility that you were capable of achieving it, and you saw in your mind that you could achieve it, or you were thinking it, and then not even 2 seconds later you achieve it, imagine how powerful your mind is when it comes to the things that you need to do. So today's realist thought for the day is you got to make room for the answer. The answer may be there. The answer to whatever it is you're seeking may be there. But if it's congested, it can't get to you. If there's so much crazy surrounding you, it can't get to you. And so part of receiving the answer is, if you watched the show yesterday, we talked about you got to be willing to accept encouragement. You got to look at yourself to figure out where, own your stuff, and then stand firm in the fact that you're going to move past it. And so today's, you got to make room for that now. And so for me, when I first stopped crazy, first started learning to live past crazy, I knew that I had to find some quiet time. And it is in that quiet time that you find yourself, that you hear yourself, that you get rid of all of that self-talk and that negative. But it's also that you start to think that maybe I can achieve that. Like if you just did that toe exercise just now, and if you missed it, go back and watch it. It's where you just literally try to touch your toes and don't stretch. You just try to touch your toes. And then I want you to take 3 deep breaths. And at the first deep breath, think about, maybe I can touch my toes. The second deep breath, I want you to think about how much further you can reach. In the third deep breath, I want you to see yourself actually touching your toes. And then the fourth deep breath, I want you to bend over and touch your toes. The amazing thing is you went further than you did the first time. You did. And that, my friend, is the power of a stretched mind. So just think today, if you stretched your mind for a little bit, for one thing, if you stretch your mind to think that perhaps I can achieve this one thing, perhaps I can live past crazy, perhaps I can do the work to get out of this crazy relationship, friendship, job, I can stop the crazy with my money, or perhaps I can do that. Because your mind is beyond powerful. And if you are God's girl, everything that God thought and everything that he spoke came to pass. And if we are made in his image, and he made us in his image, and he is a creator, what does that make us? And he told us that power and death lies in the tongue. Life and death lies in the tongue. So today, think about, what if you could really achieve it? And then speak it. JoJo, you know what? You can do that. I think you can. And in the beginning, I talk to myself, and so it doesn't sound weird to me anymore. It's going to sound weird to you in the beginning, but to me, it doesn't. JoJo, you know what? I think you might can do that. I think you might be able to do that. And then the amazing thing happens, just like that stretching exercise with your toes, your mind is going to start to stretch, because now your mind is open up to more possibilities to find the answer. Right now, in this struggle mode, in this strife mode, in this not understanding mode, here's some nerd stuff, brain science. Your brain always wants to keep you safe. So the minute you say, I don't know, your brain assumes that's the answer that you want. So it says, okay, well, you don't know, then we're not going to seek out the answer. Your brain loves to solve problems, and we are both the problem and the solution. So if I know my problem, I have to know my solution. I just got to be willing to do the work of the solution, right? So now that I'm making room for the answer, now, because when I stretch my mind, I'm making room for the answer, because the answer is there, my sister. I am my sister's keeper, and I'm telling you what I know. I know to my core. I know it like I know. The answer is there. You can't see it because we've been in the struggle and the strife and the aggravation and the frustration, and you don't know, JoJo, like if I drop the ball, everything gonna drop. But if I don't drop this ball, everything gonna drop. So I know I'm stuck between damned if I do and damned if I don't. And what am I gonna do? Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, the movie, the cake, the cookies, and the ice cream. But you've got to make room for the answer. You've got to find your quiet space. I think last week I told you guys to do the exercise of just spending 3 minutes by yourself. The first minute you will spend talking to me, talking about, JoJo, you crazy. You got me over here thinking and talking to myself. The second one is you going to be mad at yourself because you listen to me to talk to yourself to figure out what you're thinking about. And the third minute is when your mind is going to finally relax to give you the information that you need. You've got to make room for the answer. The answer is there. But if you keep filling it up with complaining, if you keep filling it up with I don't knows, if you keep filling it up with everything else, then you're not going to find the answer. The answer is there. And you've got to know that you got to have just a little inkling that you're capable of achieving it. So stretch your mind. Once you start thinking that perhaps, yep, maybe I can achieve this one thing. Maybe just today. Just for 20. Remember, what is my intent? What is my intention? And why am I saying yes? Y'all know those are my 3 questions all the time. What if just for the next 30 minutes or 15, my intent is not to have a negative thought about myself. My intention is to be gentle with myself and forgive myself. What if my reason for saying yes today is simply to stretch my mind? So stretch your mind. Do that stretching exercises where you imagine yourself touching your toes. And then think about, what are you capable of? If you're capable physically to do that stretching exercise, just by thinking that you could do it, imagine if you thought something else. Imagine what could happen if you took your great dream or your great thought and you wrote it down. And that's the power of your purpose partners. So when you write it down, you share it with a purpose partner, and that's somebody who's going to celebrate you and not talk about you, meaning they genuinely want to see you win at whatever you set your mind to. Okay? Find you some purpose partners and then be willing to give them exactly what you're asking for. Make room for your answer today. So today, think about, what if today is Tuesday? What if Tuesday? What if you could be financially debt-free? Yep. Let me tell you, I did my taxes. It's going on 2 years ago. I spent $7,000 in a Dollar Tree and a dollar menu. And wonder why I didn't have no money. Because that dollar matters. It's just a dollar. Confessions and conversations. You've got to be willing to do the work of the answer. I'm both the problem and the solution. This is the problem. This is the solution. This is the work of the answer. You got to be willing to do the work of the answer. And if you're not willing to do the work of the answer, the problem will continue and the answer will stay right here. It's not going to move. So you've got to make room for the answer. You got to make room. If you're a praying person, you got to make room for your prayer. You got to make room for what it is that you say that you want. And I don't know why I've been on this little tangent about this faith and praying thing lately. I think because it hit me to my heart. If you're going to pray, God make a way. And if you missed the show yesterday, I talked about how your encouragement, you can't receive it and it's never going to be enough because there's not enough church you can go to. They can't play the music hard enough. You can't fall out hard enough. The preacher can't preach the paint off the walls hard enough. You can't turn around in a circle hard enough to receive the encouragement if you continue to pick up the crazy as soon as you stop. Lord, take this burden off of me, but yet I pick it up before I leave the altar. Jesus, I hate this crazy relationship, but it's knocking me in the front door before, or it's meeting me at the door. It's meeting me at the altar. So this has been my kick for a while. Jesus, we're praying, and I've been a preacher wife a couple of times, and I've prayed prayed, I've shouted, I've sung the songs, I've laid on the altar, I've had hands laid on me, I've had the holy oil, I've felt the Holy Spirit. I have had all the things above. But when that stopped, when the emotion of it stopped, I was left with the reality of my problem still being there. Because you can get caught up in the emotion of it, but your problem is still there. So if I'm praying, God, remove this from me, but yet I pick it up before I leave the altar, why did I pray? Because I have more faith in the fact that my crazy will continue than I do in the fact that it will stop. I have more faith in the fact that I'm always going to be living paycheck to paycheck. I have more faith in the fact that I'm always going to have this crazy relationship. I have more faith in the fact that ain't nobody ever going to change. I have more faith in the fact that I'm never going to lose weight. I have more faith in the fact that these people crazy. I ain't gonna find no job. I ain't gonna have no money. My hair ain't gonna grow back. I ain't never gonna have gas in my tank. I ain't never gonna have food. Everybody's always gonna aggravate me. I have more faith in that than I do in the prayer that I just prayed. So tell me again, why are you praying if you don't have faith in your prayer, but you have faith in your lack? I cannot comprehend. I cannot understand. I can't conceive that. I don't understand that. And I don't think there's any words that anybody can say that can make me understand that if I'm going to pray for this change to come, number one, there's no room for it to come because I have so much crazy. But the minute I finish praying, take this off of me, it's the same second I pick it up. And it's the same second that I have more faith in all of it continuing than in the prayer that I just did. Faith in God. And here's the faith in my problems. The distance between the two is me stretching my mind, being willing to accept the answer, being willing to look at me to see if I may be part of the problem, and stretching my mind to think that maybe it is possible that I can achieve the thing that I set my mind to. Because if you don't make room for the answer, if you don't think that you're capable of achieving it, if you don't start to stretch your mind, if you don't start to see things a little differently, yeah, you're going to have more faith in the things that things are going to continue. I've been there. Absolutely. I've been with the lights off. I've been with the water off, the gas off, the car repossessed, the negative $300 in the bank account, the no Christmas presents for the kids. I've been with the no clothes. I've been with no food in the house. I've been all the things. I've been all of them. I've been the depressed. I've tried to kill myself. I've done all the things. All of them. A to Z. But at some point, I had to stretch my mind. At some point, I had to have an inkling that, JoJo, you just maybe, what if, this is What If Tuesday, what if you stopped one thing? What if you stopped complaining about the job you hate and found you another job? Just what if? What if you just stopped that crazy relationship? What peace would you have? What would come off of my shoulder? Or are you more committed to, here it is, I'm breaking it down for you. And if you realize it's just hitting me too, I think I've said this before, but it's hitting me again. We are so caught up in the idea and the persona of the life that we think that we present that we can't let go of it. And so we would rather hold on to the facade of maybe JoJo does have it together instead of admitting that she doesn't. And then people are going to talk about you. And then you got all of that stress. Let me tell you, that's why I stayed married for 2 years to a man that kept me locked in a room, who pushed me out of a moving car, who stuffed me under the bed, who would only let me eat once a day and go to the bathroom once a day. Because I was worried about what people would think about me if I divorced a minister. I was worried about what people would say, oh, you ruined his ministry. I was worried about what people say. Well, JoJo, we told you not to marry that man in the first place. I was worried about what everybody else would say. And in that, my soul was, I was dying piece by piece every single day. But I was so worried about the outside. Remember that circle of influence and that circle of concern? And Donna, I could not find my book. So I had to order everybody a book. So your book is coming as soon as I get it in the mail. That 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Your area of concern and your area of influence. Your area of concern are things that you absolutely cannot change. I could not change the fact that folk were going to talk about me if I got divorced. I could not change the fact that they was going to say, I told you so. Those are some things I could not change. But in my circle of influence, which are things that I can immediately affect, I could save my life immediately. Even if that meant leaving in the middle of the morning with 2 kids in a car where the front wheel fell off. It only had 3 tanks of gas, $3 worth of gas. It didn't have no registration, no insurance, and it had no dad. You have got, and we stayed. I say we, meaning I stayed in the crazy because I was more caught up in what people were going to think. And then I got married again. And then I got divorced again. And people are like, how many last names you done had? Doesn't matter. You done got married again? Yes, I did. Because I realized if I continued on holding on, because I was holding on to a lot of stuff, what people thought about me, the words they had for me, the titles I had to carry for them. It's a whole thing that you do, and it's so exhausting. And at some point, there's some things I can't do anything about. So why be worried? And a lot of us spend 80% in our circle of concern instead of in our circle of influence. But it's simply because we don't want to deal with the stigma or the trauma that comes along with you dealing with your problem. That's why you can't make room for the answer. That's why you can't accept the encouragement. That's why when you pray, you pick it back up. That's why the problem continues. The Lord doesn't want that for you. You don't want that for you. But your mind is so conditioned to think. And if last week, 2 weeks ago, I talked about it, it's harder for you to stop complaining than it is for you to come off cocaine. So it's better now if you were on cocaine to stop a drug than it is for you to stop complaining. Because if you've been complaining for 15 to 20 years, every time you complain, your body releases a chemical in your body. And your body becomes addicted to that chemical. And so every morning, all day long, your body is looking for that fix that you give it. And so the minute you don't complain, your body is like, wait a minute. Right about now, you complain about something. What's wrong? Let me remind you of what you complain about. This is how smart your brain is, because I think habits, you know, your daily habits, they take away your free will to think. And I'll explain that in a second. But your brain will say, Jojo, wait a minute. You normally complain about traffic at 8:20. And it's 8:22 and you ain't complained yet. Let me remind you that you sitting in traffic. You wasting gas. You wasting time. These photos. Let me remind you of what you normally say. Because your brain, your body needs that chemical fix that you've been giving it for 20 years. It is harder for you to stop complaining than it is for you to come off a drug. So when you stop, if it's your first time stopping complaining, you have got to constantly replace it with the positive. Yes, Jojo, you in traffic. This is a great time to catch up on that book you wanted to read, listen to. So I hate audiobooks. I will only recommend one book in audio, and that's by Zora Neale Hurston. Boris, what's his name? The Last Slave. I forgot his name. That's the only book I recommend. Otherwise, I like to read my books. But if I'm in the car, I listen to my books. I make my calls to my friends, or I listen to my motivational videos, whatever I have to do. Or I have my quiet time, and I let my thoughts think whatever they want to think. And I let it go. Because And my family used to think I was crazy when they would say stuff. And I was like, I can't worry about that. That's not my concern. Because I quickly figured out that I need to always stay in my circle of influence instead of my circle of concern. Because over there in my circle of concern, where I can't control anybody or anything, I'm wasting my time. I need to focus on what I can change today. What is my circle of influence that I can affect right now? And when I focus on that, the circle of concern takes care of itself. You got to make room for the answer that you're seeking first. And then you got to know that you're capable of achievement. Today is What If Tuesday. What if, JoJo, I want to own a bookstore? I don't know the steps. Y'all know I'm queen to call somebody and ask them. So I got some information, but I want to own a bookstore. I don't want to own a bookstore because it's going to make me money. I want to own a bookstore because it what makes my soul happy. How many of us, and y'all, my aunt passed away yesterday, and there's been so many deaths in my family and with my friends that it just amps it up even more. How many of us are going to die with that what if? How many of us are going to let the what if pass by? So what if, JoJo, you did own a bookstore? What if you could open that? Like, what if you could do that? Then your mind is going to start seeking the answer for that question. Because your brain wants to find an answer. Your brain solves problems. That's what it does. All day. If you're a mama, you solve problems all day. If you are a mother, if you're a business person, you work in corporate America, whatever, you solve problems all day. And if you're a mama and a wife, you are the ultimate problem solver expert. And your brain wants to solve your problems. Give it a problem to solve. JoJo, what if you could open that bookstore? What would be the name of it? What books would you put in there? What if? And as soon as you start to think that, your mind is going to start to stretch. Because now, and this is going to be the difficult. It ain't going to be difficult, but it's going to feel strange. Because you never thought these thoughts before. You never had a what if thought before. Because you're too busy complaining. And so, your body's looking for that chemical that comes with that complaining. And it's hard. It's going to be so, I'm going to pray for you. It's going to be hard. But if you're dedicated and disciplined, you can do it. Because you got to know that at the end, this is the result I want. Come hell or high water, I'm getting here. And that's what I went through. When I was living less, I couldn't even make it paycheck to paycheck. I was picking up pennies off the street. Okay? I couldn't even make it paycheck to paycheck. But I was bound and determined to get here. It didn't matter, boy, what was here. I didn't care nothing about this right here. All I knew was I was going here. And there was nothing that was going to stop me to get there. And when you become determined, and when your mind starts to stretch, here's what's going to happen. You're going to be like, it's going to be 1,000 thoughts. And you're like, well, what? There's so much stuff I don't know. Oh my God, I don't know. You go with the next right thing that you know. So if you have a big, like, I want to open up a bookstore, okay? So that's my big goal. Well, then I got to work it backwards, JoJo. You want to open up a bookstore? Well, how you do that? I don't know. Google it. I Googled it. I printed some stuff out. I read it. Oh, there's a bookstore in my area. Why don't I call that lady and ask her? She was like, oh, really? I'll be glad to answer your question. And when I called her, guess what? She was like, I'm selling my bookstore. Would you like to buy it? I don't have the money. What did she say? Oh, well, maybe we can set up financing where I take the percentage every month. You've got to stretch your mind. You have the big thought, your big idea. Work it backwards. We already know. We all know. We all know. And when you say, I don't know, your brain stops looking for the answer. So stop saying, I don't know. I always say, let me find out. I say, hold fast. Let me figure that out for you. And I start to figure it out because you're smart. Let's not forget that you're smart. You are far smarter, far stronger than you could ever imagine, boo. You created a whole human and you grew it for 9 whole months. You pushed it out of your body and then you raised it into another human. And you trying to tell me, you won't tell JoJo from Far City, North Carolina, Union Mills, Sugar Al, and Gerald Waddell's child that you don't know something? That you're not smart? You created a whole human and brought a whole human into this world. And then you raised a whole human. No, we got the answers. We just got to be willing to do the work of the answer. And if we can do the work of pushing out a child, you know how hard that is? Please, you can do this, boo. I am my sister's keeper. I am a space giver. Sometimes we just need to know that there's a safe place to dream, to think that it's possible, to know that we can do it. And this is your safe place. I'm your space giver, honey. I am my sister's keeper. And that simply means if I know I am now charged with sharing it with somebody else, and they will share it with their family, and their family will share it with their community, and their community, we will change the world. I promise it starts with you. It does. It's things that I need from you that I can't open a bookstore. I can't do the other things I want to do because I'm waiting on you. And until you know it's that serious, here go my, y'all, queen of quote. This is the first one. It's the ink done come off of it and the sticky. Somebody is waiting to hear my voice. They will not move until I move. I'm waiting on you. Okay? Make room for your answer. What are you capable of achieving? And stretch your mind. Do that stretching exercise today. Stretch your mind. It's What If Tuesday. What if? What if? And if you want to share, if you don't have any purpose partners, you want to share with me, it don't have to be awkward. I hate when people be like, oh, call me, and then you call them. It's an awkward conversation. I'm just JoJo. My name is Yamitra JoJo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? And it ain't got to be an awkward conversation. Hey, Joe, I was thinking about, and I promise you, I'm going to take the conversation from there. You ain't even got to worry. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. I am my sister's keeper. I am. And I'm here for you. Don't forget, guys, please make sure you share the show. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, I did post a YouTube channel down there so they can binge watch all the YouTube channels. I do have a book coming. I have, I'm going to type this in for you. It is a 5 ebook series called Foundations Matter. It will be out April the 10th, but you can pre-order them today. All 5 books for $19.99. And let me get you guys the topics that are covered in the book, because there's some rules to living past crazy. I learned the hard way. I don't want you to learn like I learned. Please don't do like JoJo did. Number 1 is your mental detox. Number 2 is how to get past the no's of you, because you tell yourself no more than you tell yourself yes. Building your inner confidence, part 1. The 6 easy steps to for the power to change, because you got to know you got the power to change. And then number 5 is walking in a unique expression of you. And then your bonus is going to be how to find your purpose partners and what that looks like, and the expectations that you should have of them and they should have of you. So you can order that there. Please make sure you share that with a friend. And then if your friends and family do not have, they don't do Facebook, they don't do YouTube, but they have an email address and they would like their fearless thought of the day delivered to their email, there is a link. I'm going to post it there so that they can have their fearless thought of the day delivered to their email for them. So I hope that has helped somebody today. I hope you have enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for taking time out with me today to be here. I greatly appreciate it. And if you like the earrings, this is the second set of earrings the lady made for me. Aren't these cute? And her name is J. Robinson. And I will make sure to link her information. You can find her on Instagram at JAIA Robinson. She is there, and she hand makes these. So it took like 2 weeks, and this is the bracelet. This is hand painted. So make sure that you reach out to her. All right, guys. I was going to post a link, but my internet has stopped. I hope you have an amazing Tuesday. It's What If Tuesday. What if? What is your intent? What's your intention, and why are you saying yes? What, for 15 minutes, give me 15 minutes. What is your intent for the next 15 minutes? Maybe it's not to speak negative. Maybe it's not to think negative for the first 15 minutes. What is your intention with yourself for the day? Why do you continue to say yes to the crazy? If you know the answer, why do you continue to say yes to it? Because at some point we like it. At some point we like it. It ain't that it won't stop. It ain't that we don't know. We like it. We like all the things that come along with crazy. Period. There's no other way around it. There's no talking about it. You like it. You like it. That's it. That's just plain and simple. My kids hate when I say this. Let's deal with facts only. Let's get past the denial. Let's get past the fact that you're going to say it ain't you, you don't. Let's get past all that and let's deal with straight facts. You like it. That's it. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing Tuesday. And I'm going to post that link for you to share with your friends and family for those who don't have social media and would like, or if you too would like to have your Fearless Thought of the Day delivered. They will not always match the Fearless Morning Show, but you will receive your Thought of the Day, your Fearless Thought of the Day in your inbox. I hope you have an amazing Tuesday. I'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.